What's up, everybody? Today is September 24th, 2025, and I am down here in Miami, Florida, with one of my most requested interviews of the Dattie podcast. I'm here with Taylor Perry. What's up, TP?
What's up, man? What's up?
I'm happy to be here. I'm glad we finally...
I appreciate you coming, man. It's been a long time.
I know. I've been talking to you online for, it's probably been 5-6 years. And I'm just happy to make the trip. I'm happy to make the trip down here. You're one of the most requested people I've had. You know, when's Taylor Perry? When are you going to do the interview with Taylor Perry? And now we're here.
Awesome, man.
I want to start, I want to get some things off the table right from the beginning. Anybody who's successful, you are one of the most successful SMP artists in the world, and you're one of the best marketers in the SMP industry in the world. With the success comes a lot of, I'll say, negative feedback. It tends to happen. Haters. How do you deal with the haters? Do you block it out? Well, what's your philosophy?
So honestly, all right. So in the beginning of my career, I'm going on almost a decade, right? In the beginning of my career, just coming from, I'm born and raised in Miami. I'm not a social media guy, not an internet typer. I'm like, real life in the streets. I had to understand, like, it's not personal. These people don't know you, and these are just things you got to learn along the way. And at the end of the day, like, when I really started getting into like social media and getting my name out there, I kind of realized if I didn't have haters or just random trolls writing stuff on there, that means I was on a very warm audience, an audience who knows me. Because anybody who really personally knows me, I have great.
How can you not like the guy?
Great friends, When I started getting into marketing, and honestly, I would put a video out and I would get tons of crazy comments. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm hitting a new audience. These are people who've never seen me before, and because nobody knows what SMP is. So this was like when I started, this is a blue ocean. No one knows about what it is that we do. So my whole thing was just break all the rules of marketing and just show the whole world. We just need eyeballs. And that comes with people talking shit.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And personally, you inadvertently forced me to step my marketing game up. I watched you when I first figured out who you are, and I'm watching you, I'm like, wow, this guy's fucking good. This is good marketing. Everything you just said. Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't show my face for 2 years because I was still kind of working my corporate job, and I was terrified that they would see me and I'd get in trouble or whatnot. But once I started showing my face, I was like, Taylor's doing it. That means I can do it too. You inspired me to step it up, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for that.
That's really good.
I don't know even if I would. David Santiago played a big role too. If I would have started the podcast, because I don't know if I would have had the confidence to put myself out there, and be on camera. Because there's a lot of people who just don't like being on camera.
It can be nerve-wracking. You have to learn how to do it, just like anything else in life.
So when you say you weren't a social media guy and all that, was it hard for you to first put yourself out there and show your face on the camera?
So my personality is, I'm somewhat of a quiet person. Like when I'm out and about, I don't just randomly walk up and talk to people. I'm pretty quiet. Anybody can come up to me and have a full-blown conversation, all walks of life, no matter who you are. So I can hold a conversation with any culture, anybody, but talking on camera was definitely something that felt awkward, and I swore I was going to be good at it. I was like, I'm going to be great at this. I had everything planned out in my head. And then when it would be time to film the video, I'm like, oh shit, I just forgot everything I practiced. I would get cotton mouth and just get the light turns on. I'm like a deer. Yeah. And I'm like, I just have to take shots.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So the beginning of my career, every video that came out, I was a little tipsy.
You're hammered.
Not hammered, but
just a little.
I had to kill the edge. Yeah, no. And I don't even like to drink. Yeah. But that's how nervous I was.
That's great. That's a good tip. Hey, you hear that, people? I'm kidding. No, but I know exactly what you mean. Take the edge off.
Definitely not telling anybody at home to drink.
We're joking. No, that's great. Take the edge off. And would you watch yourself? Like, would you record it, watch yourself and be like, that sucks, or, oh, I like that?
So anybody who's maybe watching this and is at that stage where they're scared to record themselves or they don't like seeing themselves on camera, I honestly don't think any of us like the way we sound or look on camera. And you can tell me your opinion on that as well. I never liked the way I sounded, but I really, really trust the people I work with. So my assistant, my videographer, and just people I work with, if they tell me, yo, T, I love this video and I hate it, it doesn't matter what I feel. I trust them fully. And if they say this is good, then I believe them and I post it.
That's great.
You know?
I know exactly what you mean about the adrenaline and getting a brain fart. Like, crap, what was I supposed to say? And I hate the sound of my own voice. I think most of the time when I make these videos, some people think they're funny. I think I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And I just got to the point where I was like, I don't care. You know, I don't care what people think. I'm going to put it out there. If they like it, they like it. They don't, they don't. They can not watch.
Yeah. So when it came to filming content, I keep everything super basic fundamentals. And I spent my life cutting hair. I cut hair my whole life. I've done all types of other hustles and other jobs, but cutting hair was always my profession, right? In person, you got to talk to people. You got to have good customer service. You will not be successful if you don't have that or learn it. And you have to be accountable. You have to be very consistent in the barbershop. You know, you have to be there every day if you want to make a good career. So I just took everything I've learned my entire life that is done in person, and in this era, we are now on social media. So you just take the same thing and just moved it over here. So our first impression is Instagram bio or seeing a video of us on social media. Our first impression isn't looking somebody in the eye, shaking their hand. That's like that's like maybe a year down the line, 6 months down the line, you know? So I just did basic customer service on social media.
One of the things I noticed, whenever I go to do a podcast with someone, I re-look at all their media that they have on there. And recently I was looking at this video of you where you're on stage and you FaceTime your kids. And I just thought that was so cool. I thought that was so cool. You're like, I want my kids to see what I actually do. Because they obviously just see Daddy.
Yeah.
But then for you to be on stage I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, they just know I have to go out of town.
That's all they think?
Then I'm leaving town, but they don't know exactly what's going on. So I said, man, let me FaceTime them when I'm on stage.
Yeah, I loved it. And there's the fans are like, you know, everyone's looking at it. It was great.
It was cool. It was cool.
China, FYT, Thailand, Barber Grammys, black belt in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. I want to hear all about it, but I want to start from the beginning.
Okay.
How old are you and where were you born?
Unfortunately, 41. It sounds crazy.
Yeah,
I still feel like I'm 20 years old. I still think I'm 20 years old, but yeah, I'm 41.
And where were you born?
Miami, Florida, born and raised my whole life.
It's so weird to me. So being down here in Miami, it's totally different than Delaware and Philadelphia.
It's another world here.
And that's all you know, though.
This is all I did know. I know the globe now, but not till I didn't leave Miami till I was maybe like 17, 18 years old.
Why would you? It's beautiful. This is where everybody vacations.
I thought every major city was like this.
Really?
Yeah, I had no clue. I never ever witnessed segregation, neighborhoods you can't go into. In Miami, it's just a melting pot of everybody you could think of, and we all intertwine.
I've noticed that. And then you got the palm trees, right? You got the great weather.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Do you feel a little spoiled with the weather? I know you get the hurricanes too.
I am so grateful I was born here.
How did that happen though? So you grow up in Florida, right? What was your life like as a child growing up in South Florida?
It was, I mean, you see Miami Vice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Miami Vice.
Yeah.
It's pretty spot on. It's whatever you could think of.
What was Taylor Perry specifically like growing up? I mean,
I think I'm ambitious now?
Yeah.
You should see me when I was young. Oh, I was nuts. I was crazy.
Were you, in your childhood, did you grow up with both parents? How did that work out?
Had both parents. My mom is amazing. Super sweet Christian woman, very loving person. Father, very nice guy, loving person, but alcoholic, never really did anything there, just not there though, you know?
Did you have a relationship with your dad?
Not really. We don't speak. You know, he was homeless. A big portion of my life, he was homeless. I would see him sleeping on park benches,
Wow.
laying at a bus stop.
And you would see that this year on.
Yeah, I'd just be driving through the neighborhood and seeing him and stuff like that.
That's gotta hurt, man.
Believe it or not, when I was a kid, I didn't think nothing of it.
Is that because that's all you kind of knew? Was like that's how your dad's always
I
been?
just didn't know no better. Just never got there. When it really hit me was when I had kids. When I had kids, that's when it started being like, what the hell, man? You know, that's when resentment would come in and stuff like that. But growing up, I guess it does affect you. But at the moment, I'm a go-getter.
Yeah.
Nothing will slow me down. Nothing will stop me. Life could throw whatever at me. I just kind of take it and I still go. You know?
When you're like 10 years old, was your dad around doing that sort of thing when you were like 10?
Yeah, he's been alcoholic.
Your whole
my
life?
whole life, yeah.
And do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a lot of brothers. I have no sisters.
Okay.
So I have three biological brothers. One older, he's in his late 50s. 2 younger than me. And then I have my other brother, not my blood brother, but he was my father figure. He's 10 years older than me. He raised me since I was 15 years old.
Wow.
And I also have 2 adopted brothers.
Okay.
So it was literally 1 bedroom with like 20 bunk beds.
Wow. And you all slept in there?
It looked like an orphanage.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it was.
So what's that? 6 kids total?
Yeah, it wasn't all 6 of us. It was like 5 of us, 4 of us.
Because the older one moved
Yeah,
out.
yeah. The older ones were always in prison.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. Well, at least you turned.
It's life. It's life.
You
know?
focused on yourself. You made your life better. I know what it's like to come from a background where people are not motivated as you.
I don't regret nothing, or I'm not sad about nothing. I love the way I grew up.
You think it hardened you up?
My life has been like Jumanji. You know, it's a game. Have fun. It is what it is. Like honestly, and I thank God for this every single day that I've been like this my whole life. I can lose everything. I can wake up underneath a bridge. I will wake up. I will smile. I'll be like, damn, this shit sucks. I got to get out of here. And I'm just going to figure it out. Nothing has ever hurt me or stopped me, or I've just always like, I'm going to figure it out. It's all temporary, you know?
I love that. You're right. And you get it back.
My worst day, I will still wake up, smile, and figure it out.
You seem to always be in a good mood. You seem to always be in a good mood. I haven't seen you lose your temper at all.
I love life.
Well, you're killing it, right?
But I've always loved life, even when I wasn't killing it.
Even when you're poor?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were talking last night at dinner, and you said you had moved out of your house when you were 15 years old.
Yeah.
Will you tell the people kind of what happened there?
So I was not good in school. I'm like, if I got a present if I got a C.
Wow.
I was like, we had a party if I got a C. Like, I'm a straight F student. Obviously, not that I'm not smart. I just didn't like school.
Yeah, you obviously have the aptitude. Yeah. You're a smart dude. You just don't.
I didn't like school. Never ever did well in school, and it just didn't interest me. The way they teach you just doesn't resonate with me.
Sit at a desk and memorize these terms.
Yeah, and I can even remember back when I was a young kid, I was so excited to learn how to read. I couldn't wait for it. And then, like, as a kid, all kids do is want to learn. So why do we hate school?
Boring, I guess.
They don't teach us properly.
Yeah.
But anyways, my mom's old-fashioned. She was like, listen, school ain't for everybody. If you make money, you don't got to go to school. And I was like, shit, I'm done. I'm done. I finished 8th grade. I started cutting hair, other things. And
you started cutting hair in 8th grade?
I started cutting hair in 7th grade.
Wow.
The beginning of 9th grade, I went to school for maybe 2 months. And I got offered a job in the barbershop. And I started cutting hair in the barbershop.
Did you have paperwork or anything for that? Is it all under the table kind of thing back then?
Nah, it's Miami, bro. Do whatever you want.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And did your mom have to sign that you don't go there? Or did they just start sending notices like, no, Taylor hasn't showed up? You just stopped going?
Never went back to school.
Oh, it didn't hurt you.
You don't got to sign no papers. Listen, I had a brand new Cadillac off the showroom floor that I bought cash at 16 years old.
Wow. Good for you, man. I don't think everybody who drops out turns out to be Taylor Perry. You know what I mean? A lot.
Yeah. It's
Well, why do you think you have this drive?
I'm just as the younger version of me, because I've lived so many different lives in my lifetime. You know, at 15 years old, you know, my mom told me I didn't have to go to school, so I cut hair. I bought a half ounce of crack. I bought a QP of regs and started selling weed. Started selling crack, cutting hair. 15 years old. That is, you know, that's just the environment that I'm in.
Yeah,
you know, young kid. Again, very successful. Started cutting hair in the barbershop professionally at 15 years old. And just took it from there and ran with it. You know, but I was just very ambitious. I always was excited to be successful, just excited for the world. I'm a young kid.
I want to pause real quick.
Yeah,
So you,
I know it sounds crazy.
So you at 15, you were 15 when you bought some crack and started selling crack. That's
a normal thing back in that era.
Just in the 90s.
No, it wasn't.
Early 2000s?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s. Did you ever? I mean, I'm assuming you didn't get caught,
I
right?
have a clean record.
Okay, good
I have
for
a
you.
concealed weapons permit.
Good for you. Good for you. That's wild. I mean, that's not your typical 15-year-old's lifestyle.
It sounds crazy. It's not something I ever even tell anybody.
Yeah. Well, thank you for telling.
I definitely don't even brag about not going to school, even though I am actually very proud of it. You know, like I said, I lived a lot of lives in my lifetime, and just growing up in my environment, you know, product of your environment. This is, you only know certain things, and that's how I was told how you live, you know?
Yeah.
Always been successful, and definitely lived a crazy life growing up. Like, it's a movie. It's a straight movie.
When you were doing this, when you were doing your haircut and then selling drugs, did you ever have any incidents that you're willing to share? Like, I don't know, getting robbed or harassed and stuff like that?
I mean, you name it, bro.
It's happened?
Yeah, it's the lifestyle. It's not a good lifestyle. But if you don't know what's a good lifestyle and you don't know it's a bad lifestyle, all you know is this is how you're told that you should live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't know I'm doing nothing wrong. And if I did what I did as a kid now, I would be punished by God.
Yeah.
I wasn't punished by God because I didn't know it was the wrong thing to do. You know, it's just,
and it's exciting. It's like I can make money really quickly, and
I just wanted to be successful.
Yeah.
You know.
But have you ever really thought about why you wanted to be successful, or was it just something in you that, like, this drive? Did something happen where you're like, you know what, I don't want to be like this person, or like, what do you think?
No, I was just born like that.
Okay.
I was just born like. When I do anything, I want to do it good.
Okay.
I don't half-ass nothing. So if I chose to cut grass, I'm not going to do a shitty job.
Okay.
I'm going to do it good, or else I won't do it.
Yeah.
I don't do anything I don't want to do. And that's something I've done my whole life. Just give it my best.
I love that. Do you feel that helps you in multiple aspects of your life?
Yeah. So, like, honestly, everything that I saw growing up, maybe in the streets, and just even from people I looked up to in, like, not a great lifestyle, you know, I look at my business now and how I maneuver now, and it is almost exactly identical to what I saw growing up, except I live a very, very clean life. I live a very positive life. I do nothing wrong. I move with strictly good intentions only. But it's like the same, because the business works. Whether you're living a bad lifestyle, good lifestyle, business is business. If it works, it works. No matter what you're doing. So honestly, I see everything I learned growing up in the streets, I just implement it into my business now. But one of the biggest things I have learned, especially growing up in Miami, a melting pot of all cultures, all walks of life. There is no segregation, so we all mix with each other. We all do business with each other. You know, everybody I grew up with from kindergarten on up is from another country.
Yeah.
You know, so that's human relations. That's relationships. You know what I mean? So I've learned how to have relationships with all types of people my whole life since I was born. And you implement that into a good business setting, man, it doesn't matter who contacts you. You know how to connect to them. You know how to relate to them. You know how to listen to them. You understand them, and you just make human connections.
Agreed. You're definitely a people person.
My whole success is human relationships.
I would say you're an expert in that for sure. I mean, even being able to connect with someone through the screen is hard to do. And you've done that. And I'm obviously in person.
Yeah.
You also do that. You told me, I want to stay on your childhood. You told me this wild story last night. And I'm hoping you're willing to share it. If you don't, we can.
Okay.
About your adopted brothers and how they became your adopted brothers.
Yeah.
Are
So
you willing to talk about that?
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, I had 2 adopted brothers. My mother was a maid, a nanny. So she was working for this lady, and she raised both of her sons since birth. Had them since infants. She was a foreign exchange student for the medical field, went to India to study, never came back.
While her 2 kids were here.
Yeah.
Did she have a husband here too?
She had a husband here. She was married here, met some Indian guy.
In India.
Yeah, married him over there, never came back. Just abandoned the whole family. So my mom has raised these kids since birth, and my mom's like, these are my babies. And she just she would never not take care of them, you know?
Yeah.
Their dad was one of the most awesome guys you can ever meet. Super great dad, like just solid individual. And he passed away. And then my mom, took him in, adopted them, and my mom is their mom.
Mad respect to your mom. I mean, that's a lot to take on, especially when you already have 4 kids. And then
My mom will save the world if she could.
That's amazing. And I mean, that's such a wild story to abandon your family. And then your mom steps up and
it's a sickness.
Yeah, that is wild. That is so crazy. I mean, when this happened, when you were that age, I mean, did you fully grasp the situation?
As an adult now and a father, this stuff hits me hard.
Yeah.
Growing up, I see so many things going on. I just never thought anything. I never felt like, I just never realized what was really happening.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. You know what I mean?
As an adult, is a big deal. As a child, I mean, I guess it is as a child too. But honestly, I never even to go back. Like I told you, my dad was homeless many years of my life. It never ever fazed me. I never cried about it. I never thought it hurt me. As an adult, it did. But growing up, no. It's the way it is.
And that's all. Even when you were like younger, was your dad like a severe alcoholic? Like I'm talking,
always
like a child.
Yeah, my whole life.
Wow.
Nice guy, not a violent person whatsoever.
I'm assuming you love your dad, right?
I mean, it's my father. I'm here.
Yeah.
He made me.
Yeah.
Just don't speak to him.
Yeah, I get it.
As I work on myself, I have no resentment to anybody ever. It's like
you got to kind of let it go, right?
Yeah.
I was telling you my situation with my dad. So I'm one of the few people who kind of, I won't say few, but I understand what you mean when you basically, it sounds like what you're telling me is you had to disconnect emotionally from your dad, because if you sat there and you thought about, hey, my dad's homeless, he's a severe alcoholic, he's not taking care of me, it will eat you up. And like I was telling you, my dad, he died, he was on heroin.
Yeah.
He was never a part of my life. So early on, when I'm younger, obviously there were many times where I was sad about it. I'd cry and I'd think about, why doesn't my dad want to be a part of my life? Why would he choose heroin over me? Why are other people doing family vacations? We don't do that.
I never went on a family vacation, not one time.
Yeah. And so I understand what it's like to kind of just disassociate yourself with them. Know that they're there, but if you sat there and just honed in on it and that's all you thought about, you're not going to move forward in your life.
Yeah.
You're just going to get depressed and nothing's going to come up.
I was so excited just to learn the world and to get out into the world. That just didn't faze me. I do wonder, I have friends that are super close with their parents, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm having a beer with my dad. And I'm just like, I wonder what that's like.
Yeah.
Look, it's kind of strange.
Yeah.
I think it's strange.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's different. Even though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get it.
Maybe one day, I'll be able to have a beer with my kid. You can have a beer with your kid.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
One of my goals is to be the dad that I didn't have. So that's kind of something that keeps pushing me. It's like, because, when you're a kid, you daydream about having a quote unquote perfect family.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I just want to be the dad that I didn't have.
Yeah.
So it pushes you
That's
to go a little bit harder.
things
Right?
that stands out about you more than anything is I watch your videos of how you are with your kids, and I'm just like, wow. Like, it says a lot.
Thank you.
It says a lot.
I'm trying, but it's not even like it's I just have a lot of anxiety. I don't know if I show it, but I have a lot of anxiety in being a parent. Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough, and then I have the opposite feeling that we were talking about last night, over spoiling our kids.
Yes.
You were talking about the presents.
It's easy to do.
And it's fun, right? They get excited, but then it's like, is this good?
It's almost like tough love.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's very necessary. It is necessary. You can't overgive.
Because then you think about, we all know spoiled kids as adults, and they don't seem to be somebody you want to be around.
Yeah,
they're like a spoiled brat.
Definitely.
Because you spoil them as a child, they get older, and then they're just...
They don't understand. Yeah.
Like do you think all that stuff that kind of happened to you growing up with your family, moving out at 15, played a role with how you conduct your life to this day? Or have you just completely moved on? How do you think that?
Oh, man. So it's like, I could sit here and tell you as an adult, like if you asked me this question 15 years ago, I would have gave you completely different answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As an adult and a father of two, I'm answering these questions as from that Taylor Perry, back then, man, I'm telling you, it didn't faze me. No matter what happened, this was just life. It was normal, right? I don't know no better. Just, all right, cool. I'm just not going to stop trying to be successful and win in life. With that being said, I definitely, everything I do now and the person I am now is all made and built from these different lives that I experienced growing up, for sure.
So do you feel you learned a lot of lessons from that?
I love to learn. All I do is learn. Every day I get smarter. Yeah. Every single day.
And if you're not growing, you're dying.
Every day I get smarter.
I love that. I think that's why we get along, because I think a lot of people, they reach a certain point and then they just kind of coast. But I'm always willing to learn as well.
Yeah. I've got lucky too, is growing up, seeing like, big guys that I saw as a kid in the streets and stuff like that. I've watched like my brother who raised me. I've watched him be a multi-millionaire, go broke, multi-millionaire in another business, go broke, multi-millionaire again in another business. I've watched him he just makes money no matter what he touches. And I was witnessed that as a kid, and I understand, especially for martial arts, really gave me this, is I understand, one, to be grateful for when you have things, but the snap of a finger, it can be gone. One wrong move, it could be gone. Mm-hmm. But you have the skill to build it. You can always get it back, And so I was never, ever scared to lose everything. I was always like, okay, I know I can do this. I'm going to bet on myself, and I'm going to make this happen. It's like a gamble, but I know it's for sure.
Because you know yourself.
I know I can do it.
Yeah. And you're willing to put in the work. I think a lot of people, there's plenty of smart people. There's plenty of people that are smarter than me, smarter than you, but don't even touch the amount of success.
They don't believe in themselves.
I think you're right. They don't believe in themselves, but they're afraid. You have the ability.
I'm afraid of a lot of things.
But you do it anyway.
I'll do it.
But you do it anyway.
It's a bigger chance I'll do it if I'm really afraid.
Yeah.
If I'm not afraid, it won't interest me.
I love that. I love that.
That's boring.
You were doing, you touched on the martial arts. When did you get into martial arts? You're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and you were doing it before it was cool.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of cool, which is great. I think it's great for humanity. Yeah.
Oh, man. So it's crazy, right? So my brother, Mike, call him Big Cheese.
Is that the older one?
Yeah, who raised me.
Okay.
He was one of the original heavyweights for American Top Team.
Okay.
Beast. Like, he hit you with a jab, you're going to sleep. Mm-hmm. Beast. So I was out one night, and this kid that was in my car, long story short, and I get into a little altercation with somebody I was driving home. Uh-huh. He had stole some money from my friend's girl. And my friend called me and told me, oh, this guy stole this money, da-da-da. So I ended up getting into a fight with the kid. knocked him out, took all the money out of his pockets. And as I turn around, he's like waking back up, and I forgot he had a gun, and he pistoled at me in the back of my head.
Oh, shit.
So I start wrestling with him, grabbing his hand as he's shooting me. And we're running in a circle, and he's just pop, 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 pop.
It's like missing you.
Yeah, because I'm holding his hand as he's shooting, running in the circle. Got the clip out, shoots the last shot, and then I just beat him up, end up getting away, and I go home. And then my brother was like, yo, after this, he was like, listen, you're coming to practice with me. I don't care what you say.
What?
I always wanted to go, but like I was just, you know.
How old were you?
I was like 20 years old, 21 years old.
He's shooting you and you're running in a circle.
Just holding his arm. And
like a cartoon.
Yeah, it was
That's fucking crazy,
scary.
dude. That is so
But anyways, I made it out, didn't get shot.
Yeah.
That week, he took me to practice, and I got into a lot of street fights growing up. Like, I thought I was tough. I literally thought I had hands. So I remember going my first day in practice, and back then there was no recreational classes. It was just pro fighters only. This is a fight camp, you know?
You're talking about MMA?
Yeah, MMA.
Okay.
So I'm going straight to pro practice. There was no regular classes. It was only for fighters. And my brother took me in there, and I remember I got the daylights beat out of me, like whooped. And I'm driving home, and I'm just in the car, I'm laughing, and my brother's like, what's wrong? I'm like, bro, all these years, I thought I could fight. I was like, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
And I was hooked. I was like, I got to learn this. There's no way this little skinny dude just like picked me up, slammed me, mollywhopped me. I couldn't do anything. I was totally helpless.
So you were doing striking that early too?
Yeah, they put me. He thought this was, again, I'm 20, 21 years old, and my brother's like, yeah, we got to make him tough, beat him up.
And I'm sure he probably told everybody before he came in.
Yeah, make him a man, beat him up. You know, so yeah. And I was hooked. It's either going to it's going to break you and you're never going to go back, or you're going to be like, there's no way. I got to learn this. And that happened to be me. I was like, I have to learn.
So how long did you do the MMA before you kind of transitioned into the jiu-jitsu?
So I started doing, MMA striking, and then just doing that, when you want to do like MMA, jiu-jitsu is 50% of that. Grappling is 50%. So I see the jiu-jitsu guys, I'm like, man, that's gay. I don't want to do that. I'm not rolling around and they're like,
doing north-south.
Yeah, they're like, no, but you have to learn. You have to do it. So eventually, I just, a couple months in, eventually you got to do it. And man, that crap is so hard. It is so hard. Like understanding how muscles don't matter how tough you are, don't matter how strong you are, it don't matter. They can do whatever they want to you. So I just started learning it. As I get older and work and life happens, you don't have time to train all day long every day. So you got to pick what you can do. Lifting weights, boxing, kickboxing, all this stuff. The most important thing is jiu-jitsu. So that is the most important thing, and that's what I chose to do because I was limited on time due to business and work. Yeah.
And doing the jiu-jitsu, I'm sure going through getting choked out humbles you, right?
So MMA in general, jiu-jitsu, all the different forms of like mixed martial arts will make you the nicest person possible. You really understand like the difference between a boxer, right? Floyd Mayweather, best boxer in the world, can go to the gym. He doesn't really get beat up in the gym. He practices, he trains, but he's never getting beat up. MMA fighters, jiu-jitsu fighters, every single day, you get your ego took by somebody that's not as good as you.
Yeah, they catch you wrong.
A lower level guy has a good day and you have a bad day. This is just life, right? So you have no ego. You cannot have an ego if you train jiu-jitsu and MMA. Impossible.
And you do it under Gracie?
Yeah, Gracie lineage. I train with Wagner Rocha.
Okay. What's the name of your gym? Give a shout out to the gym.
Shout out Wagner Rocha, mixed martial arts. He's legit like one of the best hands down in the world. Wow. So I got lucky. I've also been able to grow up around everybody you see on the UFC. Yeah. I've trained with
killers.
More than half of those guys. Yeah. Half of my life.
And
20 years of my life.
training with people at that level is going to force you to step your game up.
I love it. It makes me happy. It's like my meditation.
You ever compete, like do tournaments or anything?
MMA, no. Never competed in MMA. Just because I always had to cut hair.
Yeah.
They didn't pay you anything.
Yeah,
I broke my hand 5 times.
Yeah, we talked about that last.
So it's like make $1,000 and I can't work for 3 months.
Yeah,
So
what
I
are you
was
gonna
like,
do?
It's not gonna work out. Jiu-jitsu and judo competed all over the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just found out you did the judo
Yeah.
yesterday.
I probably
So you do the throws?
yeah, black belt in judo as well.
Wow.
Black belt judo, black belt jiu-jitsu, pro MMA, about around 23 years old.
When you let's hypothetically, you get into you're 41 years old, somebody starts a confrontation with you, obviously you're going to try to de-escalate the whole time. Would you rather be standing or would you rather go to the ground? Like if you had to in a street fight. Just one-on-one though. Hopefully it's just one-on-one.
Well, first of all, I would honestly never get into a street fight. It would be somebody getting attacked and I'm going to help them.
Okay.
Or somebody decided to attack me. I don't know why they would, but
yeah.
If it probably get finished quickly standing. If I landed on the ground, I land on the ground and finish it quick. But honestly, me being attacked and it's like what I get out of jiu-jitsu and just MMA in general, say we walk to a gas station, right? And some guy's just like, what the F you guys looking at? And just starts a fight with us. And maybe my friend, he's not trained, doesn't know how to fight. He's going to get very offended. He's going to be in defense mode and he's probably going to get into a fight with this guy. Okay. He's in fear or he's just in defense mode. I'm going to be like, you're crazy, bro. You're nuts. I'm going to laugh. I'm not in defense. I'm not frightened. I'm just like, this guy is crazy.
You're trying to de-escalate.
Not even.
Okay,
it's like a 5-year-old kid just called me out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
because you know how to move your body.
I'm not threatened by him, so I won't be mad. I'm not mad. I'm just like, this guy's nuts. Just give my gas and I leave.
Yeah.
You know?
Good. I love that, by the way. That's good. Yeah. That's what you should do.
Because you only get like angry and defensive for the most part is when you're
insecure.
Not insecure, when you feel like you need to defend.
Okay.
But if you know this guy's harmless, you don't feel like you need to defend yourself. You're harmless.
Agreed. Agreed. Do you're still practicing jiu-jitsu to this day, right?
I love it. Jiu-jitsu is my life.
Are you going to get your son into it?
He is. My son's been doing judo and jiu-jitsu since he's 4 years old.
Wow.
My daughter as well. I let my daughter take a break just because she's a girl, but I am going to get her back into it. Though my son hates it, but when I bring him, he's really mad when I make him leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's a beast.
That's great.
He's a beast.
I think it's so important to teach it. I was telling you offline, we're gonna. My son's gonna start wrestling this season.
Oh my God, best thing ever.
But I know he might like it, but I think he might hate it too. It's hard.
I had a talk with Wagner a couple years back, and because like as a parent, right, we're like, I don't ever want to force my kids to play a sport because I want them to play. This is totally different. Mm-hmm. Even like Wagner was like, yo, jiu-jitsu saved your life. Yes or no? I'm like, yeah. He's like, so save your kid's life. He has to come. Yeah. I don't care what he says. And he's like, he doesn't have to be good, but he has to come. Yeah. And I'm like, you got a good point. He's like, if it saved your life, saved my life, what do you think it's going to do for him? I guess it's save his life. So again, you have to go. You don't got to be good. You just got to go.
And learn. I think it also building confidence in a kid when they're young is so important because then when they become adult, they're more likely to pursue their dreams.
It will dictate their entire life.
And so when you know how to fight or you know how to defend yourself, you're not worried about things that other people are worried.
And like fighting is surface level. That's not even the reason why anybody goes. Maybe it might be the reason why some people sign up, but it's damn sure ain't the reason why they stay.
Okay.
Your ego gets crushed every day, so you have no ego. You might have a little one, but it's more confident than ego. Mm-hmm. That is impossible to have. You fail every single day that you show up to training. You understand failing, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad word. Failing is actually a good thing. it means you're closer to getting it right. So just you understand the process of life, of not getting something right, learning, trying until you get it right. Then you become successful. Jiu-jitsu especially, you're put in really bad situations while we're fighting. Where like you are on top of me or just have me in some type of position where I feel like I can't breathe. I want to panic naturally, but I can breathe. I just have to stay calm in a exhausted state where your body's being taxed at 100%. But I have to mentally like calm. I can't fight out of this. I just need to think. Maybe I got to move my hip 1 inch. And I'm free. I'm out. So you gotta, where your body's being pushed 100%, you mentally have to stay calm and just like focus, not panic. So it's like translating that into the real world.
Everything else seems easier.
Yes, especially competing. Everybody should compete at least once or twice in their life.
I agree.
It could be white belt level. It doesn't matter your age. You don't know yourself until you're put in some type of situation. Unless you were in the military or army and been to combat and been to war, you don't know who you are. So competing, again, this is a controlled environment, you know? There's nothing more nerve-wracking than that. Even jiu-jitsu, it's a grappling fight. You're not gonna get punched in the face. You're still fighting another human being full blast, and it's planned and it's timed, and you're a nervous wreck coming up to that. Then you have days where you're just like hype and I'm gonna crush it. And then you're driving to the tournament and you're just like, why am I doing this? Like I should just go home.
Is it worth it?
I should go home. Like, so you hear all the voices in your head.
There's a fear of embarrassment too, right?
When I get so many,
choked out.
it's just nonstop. It's like,
yeah.
So you really understand who you are because no one can hear the voices in your head but you.
Yep.
So you're going to know if you perform well under pressure. You're going to know if you break under pressure. You're going to know so much about you. Whether you win, lose, it is such a learning experience. And again, nothing in the real world can ever be as nerve-wracking as that, for the most part, right? So in the real world, in business, whatever happens, the damn roof could get blown off and you're just like, all right. How are we going to fix this?
Yeah.
You're calm.
Solution oriented. Right?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
And you really understand if you just don't do well under pressure. You know that about yourself. And now you can know how to kind of fix that.
Agreed.
Agreed. It's just, you will really learn you.
Is that what you're kind of hoping for your son to get out of it and your daughter to get out of it?
There's no hope.
Yeah.
It's just inevitable.
Yeah.
You're going to learn yourself. On top of that, obviously learning how to protect themselves does give them a certain level of confidence. Yeah. Money cannot buy. It just makes you, able to learn things. I realized at a young age, the harder something is to get, the more you don't have to worry about everyone else going to do it too. Yeah. They're all going to give up. Even the SMP game. When I started being very successful in this, and you do got to put in a good amount of effort to be successful. Oh yeah. I was like, it's cool. It's totally worth it. I have a security blanket. Everybody's going to quit. Everybody's going to give up. So it's worth me putting my time in. Yeah.
Agreed. I just want to kind of circle back before we go into like your transition. You started being a barber when you were 15. Now, were you working for somebody else? And eventually I know you owned your own shop. How did that kind of happen?
All right. So when I started cutting hair, it was literally almost everything you see me have for the most part, business-wise, completely organic. Okay. It just happened on its own. Cutting hair, I was always a creative person. My whole family is very artistic. And I needed money for haircuts. My mom, in my entire childhood, I was taken to the barber shop maybe one time. My mom gave us freaking soup bowls on the porch, looked like Three Stooges. Everybody's riding their bikes by laughing at us. It was the most embarrassing thing ever. So me and my best friend growing up, Jose, we wanted to start cutting each other's hair.
Mhm.
We had like a pair of like crappy ass pair of clippers. Didn't even work.
Mhm.
We cut grass,
Mhm.
got money from cutting grass. We literally just knocked on some people's doors and we're like, yo, can we cut your grass? And they're like, yeah. So we cut their grass, did a couple houses, got the money, went to the neighborhood barbershop, Felix's barbershop, and we told Felix, yo, can you sell us a pair of clippers? And this is the money we got. And
Mhm.
Felix is like, yeah. So he went in the back, he got a pair of Andy's Masters, he got a Andy's Styliner, gave us all the guards and everything.
Mhm.
And with that clipper, me and Jose started cutting each other's hair.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you were each other's guinea pig.
Yeah. And we just wanted haircuts. We just wanted to look good. We're in middle school, becoming teenagers, and we started cutting everybody up in the neighborhood. Before you know it, we would have a line in front of my porch, and we're just cutting hair.
How were you learn? I mean, did you kind of figure out the fade on your own, or were
No, you just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
We just got to figure it out. And when, like, say we would get money and go to the barbershop as young teenagers, and we would be like, all right, Jose would be like, yo, I got enough money for a haircut today. Come with me. We're going to watch. We're going to watch the guy Lewis cut my hair.
Yeah.
So when Jose would get his haircut, me and Jose are just in the mirror, like watching everything they do.
Yeah.
So then we go back and then Jose will try to cut my hair or vice versa. And that's how we learned.
I love that. That's kind of how I learned too. I didn't take it to start like barbering like you did, take it to the level you did, because I want to talk about the Barber Grammys. But I was probably annoyed the guy who was cutting my hair because I'll just keep asking him questions. Because I kept saying, why you do like this? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
You know? And you kind of pick up on it. I was shaving, I took stuffed animals and I was shaving them.
Oh shit.
I was just shaving teddy bears, dude. That's how kind of that was my practice. It was kind of, you know, if you look, you see a bunch of shaving.
It works.
But so going from that, so you and Jose practicing on each other, when do you eventually get your own shop? How'd that happen?
So I never owned my own barbershop and never wanted to, and I probably never will.
Okay.
Not something I want.
But didn't you worked isolated, or was it a small barbershop?
No. So I'll tell you. So the very beginning of 9th grade, I was, again, I was cutting everybody in the neighborhood, making some noise. This guy, Harrison, owned a barbershop in Fort Lauderdale. Heard about me, literally pulled up to my house and was like, yo, I own a barbershop. I want to give you a job.
Wow.
And I'm like, I don't know how to cut hair that good. Like, I'm a little kid.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, man. He's like, I heard about you. He's like, I'm going to teach you how to cut hair. Wow. And I'm like, I mean, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You know, gave me a job.
Shout out to Harrison.
Harrison, he passed away. R.I.P. Harrison. Shout out to Harrison. Definitely a big part of my life. Gave me a job.
Wow.
Taught me how to cut hair. I'm working in the barbershop, 15 years old. My mom told me, you make money, you don't got to go to school. At 16 years old was the legal age till you can go to Cosmo or barbering school in Florida.
Okay.
So 16 years old, I walked to the barber school, got all the paperwork, filled everything out, told my mom, I need you to sign this and walk with me in this office. Mm-hmm. Walked with me in the office. I said, they just need the parents' consent. My mom gave them consent. I got enrolled in cosmetology school.
Wow.
16.
Does it cost money to go to cosmetology school?
Like $15,000.
Did you have to pay that?
No, I got a Pell Grant.
Okay.
For
cool.
financial aid.
Good for you.
Low income.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I need your parents to sign.
Okay.
You know, so barber school at 16 years old. And started cutting hair.
And that's kind of, and so Harrison you basically had a mentor.
Yeah, I was Harrison, owned a Haitian barbershop in Fort Lauderdale. I'm literally just the only white guy cutting hair. So I got all the Spanish dudes, all the white dudes on lock.
Yeah.
Harrison definitely played a huge role in like really teaching me about the streets. He's an older dude, street guy. And nothing, he never let nothing bad happen to me. He would always tell me like, just how to move.
Yeah.
You know? Took great care of me as a kid. And from there, just there's a small shop, you're going to outgrow it. I'm very ambitious. I end up moving to Miami around like 16, 17.
So this was all in like Hollywood, Florida?
This was in Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. This was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ended up moving to Miami, Carroll City. There's a shop called Clippers that was like ahead of its time. We're talking Puff Daddy, Big Pun, Buster, you name it. They will go there when they're in Miami.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm getting a job at Clippers.
Yeah.
And walked in there, ended up getting a job in there. So it was like the celebrity barbershop.
How many seats were there?
Like 20?
Wow. Man,
It was a lot. It was a lot. And again, I'm 16 years old at the time now. 16.
You're probably loving it.
Oh, bro, it was the time of my life. Making like $500-600 a day.
Yeah.
Back then and at that age, bro, it was insane.
That's pretty cool. And this is early 2000s. So I'm sure the styles were even a little bit different too.
No, same styles.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, yeah, it changes a little bit. Yeah.
When you're doing this and you're 16, I mean, were they, I know you said the guy Harrison took care of you, but now you're at Clippers. I don't know, did anybody mess with you? Like, who's this person think he is? This kid?
Nah, it was pretty wild.
Okay.
They'll check you out, but they could tell.
Yeah.
I was wild. There was no fear in me.
That's good. That's good.
I was, but again, that's all I know. Even like as a kid taking the city bus, I remember taking the city bus, before I had a car, talking from like East Hollywood all the way through Carroll City, all the way through North Miami, and like almost every single day, maybe every other day, at least a couple times a week, get into a fist fight on the city bus.
On the bus?
Yeah, I'm white going through a black neighborhood.
Okay.
But I never thought I got picked on. It's normal.
Yeah.
You gotta fight.
You're a teenager.
I don't know no better. All I know is my brother said, make sure you hit him first. You know what I mean? But I never got bullied. I never felt like I got picked on. I never was mad about any of it. It was just, that was life. It's the way it is.
How long did you stay at Clippers?
I was there for several years, maybe 4 years.
How's that work? You would just rent a chair from there?
Rent a chair, yeah, booth rent. I was probably there for about 4 years. Then I ended up going to another shop called Outliners, and I spent about 10 years over there.
At Outliners?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
Miami Lakes as well. Yeah, Miami Lakes. And then ended up, and I've always, hustled in the streets, did my thing.
Got a little side business going on too.
Not no side business. I'm doing my thing. And cutting hair was just always there, right? It's my career. And I'm moving to the shop called Top Notch. It was a $10 barbershop.
Like the cuts were just $10?
$10. But believe it or not, I would make like $600, some days $700.
Wow.
But it's like...
This is including tips and all that?
Yeah, including tips, yeah. But we're talking in and out. I'm doing like 30 heads a day.
Wow.
I was there for almost 10 years.
Just cutting heads.
Yeah.
Relentlessly.
I had my kids and I had my son. When I had my son, I was like, all right, cool. I'm not going to do anything wrong. I'm just going to own being a barber. This is when I had my son, my life really changed because I started like really focusing on what I had. Like I always cut hair, but it was not a cool thing. You didn't walk around and tell a girl you're a barber. Yeah. It was not a cool job. You want to be like what you see on rap videos and stuff. That's like what was cool, Now being a barber is awesome and it's glorified.
It really is.
But back then it was definitely like almost embarrassing. You didn't tell nobody that,
Yeah.
So I had my son. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing nothing shady, nothing wrong, nothing that could jeopardize me being a good dad. And I've been a barber my whole life, but I'm actually going to own it. I'm going to own being a barber. I'm going to be proud of being a barber, and I'm going to give it 100%. Something that I never gave before, completely changed my life when I had my son. Excluded myself out of the club scene, out of the nightlife, out of the street life, drowned myself in the gym, drowned myself into MMA, jiu-jitsu even more, and cut hair all day long. My career really, really blew up.
Because now that you're like fully invested,
I'm giving barbering 100%. About 4 years go in, and I'm like, okay, my son's getting a little bit older. I had a daughter now, they're 1 year apart. And I'm like, all right, my kids are growing up, and cutting hair is great. But man, I got their mom, I got my 2 kids, I got my mother, I got 2 car payments, I got bills. I'm making good money, but you ain't never gonna be rich. It's very hard to save. Yeah. You know how it is. And I was like, I gotta do something. I need to get back out here, but I don't want to do anything illegal. I will never do anything illegal ever again in my life.
Can't risk it when you have kids.
It's not even worth it. I put energy into other things, and it's just amazing, So I'm just literally looking for a career change, trying to figure out what I can do because I'm not contempt with cutting hair for the rest of my life. There's no way God put me on earth for this. And I'm having dinner at my brother-in-law's house. He's a real spiritual dude. So I'm like, yo, Tato, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Maybe I should open up a gym, maybe be a personal trainer, and just throwing out ideas. And he's like, yo, stop. He's like, God's sending you a career change, but you don't know it exists. And I'm like, yeah, all right. And I start naming things. He's like, yo, you don't know it exists. And I'm like, that's impossible. And I'm like, whatever, man. You know, whatever, eat dinner. About 8 months go by. And I would always think, I would like in my head, I'm looking like, what don't I know exists? Like, this is impossible. You have to at least heard of something before, right? My client comes into the barbershop, this guy Jobson, cutting his hair. He's not bald, but he's thin. And he's like, oh, T, how do you like my lineup? I'm like, it looks cool. Would you put like Just for Men on it yourself, like the hair dye? He's like, nah, bro, it's a tattoo. And I'm like looking at it. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, yo, give me that guy's phone number, man. Gave me his number, get him the haircut. And I'm just like, yo, I never knew this existed. I was like, yo, thank you, God.
Do you remember who did his head?
Yeah.
You want to say it?
Some shitbag.
Okay.
I don't need to say names, but it's a shitbag. He knows who he is.
But that's how you know. So you saw,
just talking shit.
So you saw it on this guy's head, and that's kind of how you learned about it. And your brother-in-law told you 8 months before that you're gonna, God has a plan for you, has a new.
A career change I never knew existed.
Does he remember that conversation?
Yeah. And gave me the dude's phone number, and I'm looking at it. The work was, it's not bad, right? It's good enough to impress me, and I knew right away I'm doing this. But I would never let him do my head. I was like, lying up crooked. I'm a barber my whole life. This guy ain't no barber. Not like you don't have to be a barber. I see haircuts, So he gave me the dude's number, contact the guy. I'm talking to him. Something I didn't mention, my oldest brother is a tattoo artist.
Okay.
I learned how to tattoo when I was around 18 years old. Okay. Done hundreds of tattoos. Not professionally, but I've done a lot. I know how to tattoo. Plus I'm covered. So I reach out to the dude, talk to him, asking him questions. He doesn't know shit about tattoos. He don't know nothing about cutting hair. And he don't really got no portfolio. A couple pictures, nothing crazy, and he's a teacher. And I'm like, man, giving this dude $5,000, like, you're crazy as hell. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool. X'd off the list. I started Googling stuff. I'm like, yo, this is actually a thing. This is a whole industry that's hidden. And I'm calling around, and everybody is a teacher, the few guys that I can find, but their work wasn't impressive. And then when I'm calling them, I'm interviewing them. I want to know what they know. They don't know nothing. I knew more than them and had more tattoo experience than all of them combined. So it's like typical ghetto love story. I told my baby mom, like, baby, I need your income tax check. And she's like, huh? I'm like, listen, I got this thing, the tattoo hairlines, and like, I'm gonna make a lot of money. I'm gonna get out of the barbershop. I'm gonna make us money. She's like, whatever. If you believe in it, then you can take it. And she gave it to me. I called my boy Peter and Josh, Double Cross Tattoos. I said, guys, I need new tattoo equipment. They're like, yeah, come over, bro, come over. So I went over there. I sat with Josh. We went online. Josh picked me out a new Cheyenne machine, picked me out all the new rotary machines, placed my order. I tattooed both of my legs are covered in dots, nice. Similar like yours. Yeah. And started doing melon, started doing synthetic skins. And about 3 weeks in, I'm talking practicing every single day. And this is you just watching stuff and doing it on your own. You haven't actually trained with anyone yet. No, mind you, I have a lot. I've done hundreds of tattoos growing up. Okay. I know how to tattoo. So I was able to watch enough content that I could find. There wasn't much. Yeah. There's almost nobody on social media. There's some stuff on Google floating around. I did both of my legs, and I convinced my kid's mother's older brother, like, let me do your head. And he's like, I don't know, man. And I'm like, listen, bro, like, I'll get banned from the family if I fuck your head up. I got you. I know I got you. And his wife was furious at both of us. They're like, nobody wants us to do it. And I was like, man, I got you. So in the barbershop after hours, I did my first session of SMP. I was shitting in my pants. I was so scared.
Your hands start shaking, right?
And I was shaking. But again, like I was determined to do some amazing work. I'll show you the pictures. I still have them. Did his first session. We were so freaking happy. It was obviously not the best work, but it was
down.
It was dope. With those pictures and videos, I booked 3 more guys the next morning.
Shut up.
Just my boys.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
For free, obviously. Yeah. And everyone's like, hell yeah, I want that. Started doing them. And it was just a snowball effect. I never, ever stopped.
Wow.
Every single person I've ever touched in my entire career, I got videos and pictures of. Never touched anybody without taking the mandatory.
Agreed.
And that's how my career started.
When did you decide to get your head done?
I always wanted it done, but I don't know who's going to do my head.
Yeah.
There wasn't very many people out there doing it. Like,
when's this, 2016?
Probably like 17. You know, like we got Jero in New York. We got Matt was out there.
Dan Urenberg, but that's DC. R.I.P. Dan.
R.I.P. Danny. One of the pioneers.
Yeah.
Never knew him personally. He's actually one of the guys I reached out to in the beginning because I saw him, and I feel like it was like he's pretty like good little lineups. You know, then like maybe now people might criticize his work back then, but back then he was like one of the only guys out here. There's only few of them.
Everybody's gotten better since then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the industry was like super new. It's still super new. Reached out to him, found him on Instagram. Won't respond to me.
Wow.
Saw I was a barber. Didn't want to teach me. Literally would not respond to me.
Surprisingly, it's not the first time I've heard a similar story.
And I was like, all right, cool. Hey, you can get none of my money. I wasn't going to pay you anyways.
Yeah.
You know, but wouldn't even talk to me. Just jealous. But again, I don't know him personally. Yeah, so I was just like, all right, that's it. I'm just going to learn myself.
Okay.
First set came out great. Second, third came out great. And I just started snowball effect. Just started doing people in the barbershop after hours. That first year, not even a year, we're talking maybe 10 months, I made, on top of cutting hair, with cutting hair, I probably made $180K,
wow.
close to $200,000.
Good for you.
I was already making about $80K cutting hair. I made almost $200K that year after hours in the barbershop.
Wow.
All right. So I'm getting very busy. And again, I'm doing work for $500, doing work for $1,000, whatever I could get. I would ask $2,500. Sometimes I'll get it, sometimes I wouldn't.
I know how to.
But hey, I'm cutting hair for $10. If a dude's like, yo, I got $1,600, take it or leave it, trust me, I am taking that.
Damn right.
I got to cut hair all week long to make that money. I'm taking it, you know? And this is some of the things I really do teach in the classes. It's like, they're like, I'm not working for cheap. I'm like, what do you make now?
Yeah.
$30 an hour?
Yeah.
When you're going to turn down $1,500?
Yeah.
Are you retarded?
Yeah.
Take the money. It's a raise. That's what you came here for. You're not going to stay there forever, but take it.
Yeah.
Get the industry standard.
I agree. And you get the photo and you get the practice. So why not do it? You have to do it cheap and free in the beginning. You have to, people.
I tell everybody this, and this is how I built my career. The fastest way to make a lot of money in SMP is to get really good experience, to get good, and to have a big portfolio. So you need to get good and you need a big portfolio. Money cannot buy these things. They are completely priceless. There's not a price tag on it. So what that means, do as many people for free is the fastest you're going to get to the money. If you want to charge $800, $1,500 right out of class, all right, cool. You might do one a month. I want to do 30, 40 a month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I built my career.
Interesting. So did you ever end up, I know you have now, but I mean, how many people would you say you did before you end up taking like a real training class?
I didn't take a training class until I was already one of the #1 artists in the world.
Wow. Wow. That's tough to do. I know somebody out there's a guy named out in England, his name's Don Dadas. He also kind of self-taught like you and also did it. I mean, some people can have a knack.
And disclaimer, right? Self-taught can get like so misinterpreted. In a way, yes, but in a way, no. Been a barber as of now for 25 years, master barber. Okay. So we're talking 20, 30 haircuts a day for years.
Yeah.
On top of doing tattoos since I was 18 years old.
You did, the tattoo is
So
probably
I had years and years of experience of the two main elements on top of customer service.
okay.
You know, so I was able to do it. So I definitely don't ever suggest anybody to do it. And again, if I can go back in time, say I had money to throw around, I would have paid tons of people to teach me. I would have gave these guys their little 5Gs.
Yeah.
And I would have took like 2-3 classes. I didn't have it then. I had no choice, you know? But, and even now you can seek really good education. There is people now, not a lot, but there's people who will really teach you, you know? And if you do your diligence and you find the right people, you can find a good trainer. So that doesn't need to be done anymore like that. You know what I mean?
Agreed. It's come a long way.
Absolutely.
Even in just the last 5 years, how far it's come. Just getting better needles.
Completely changes. It's in its infancy. This is still a blue ocean. You might get into the business and you get caught in the algorithm and you start seeing all these SMP artists. But we're talking globally. It's like none of us.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot on social media if that's only the people you're following at the moment, right? There's only a couple of us.
I'd say there's probably at least, I don't know, maybe we'll say 5,000 people who've taken a class, right? And out of
globally,
the globally.
Population on planet Earth.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then you scale it down to how many
Are
wipe off
successful.
3,000. We'll say we'll go down to 2,000. Then it just keeps going down and down and down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We should figure that out someday.
That would be good. That's
Hey,
a good
if
option to
an
figure out.
SMP artist is watching this and you got the time, do the math. Figure out how many there really are.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah. It's very interesting. I'm so curious. But like what I'm trying to get is our industry is a blue ocean.
Yeah.
Meaning we might think there's competition when we start getting caught up in the algorithm. There is no competition. All of us together cannot do SMP on everybody who needs it globally. It's
Unlimited supply bald people.
physically impossible. So whether you're down the block from me, it doesn't matter. There is more than enough people in the United States, on planet Earth. There's more than we can handle.
And even if we did the entire generation of bald people, guess what? Next year, more people are going to start.
I mean,
losing
just
hair.
like a statistic is like online every day globally, there is, if I'm correct, 2 billion English-speaking people online every day on social media platforms. So all the SMP artists in America together, we get maxed out with like maybe 50 heads a month, right? So
if you're lucky.
if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So if everybody's lucky and we all are fully booked with 50 clients every month, that is not even going to put a dent in this 2 million people.
So true.
There is more than enough for everybody to be completely fully booked.
So if you're thinking about a career change, people, think about scalp micropigmentation because there's a big opportunity.
It's a blue ocean. It is just, it's open for the taking.
But just like we talked about offline, we could teach, I teach, you teach a lot more. Just because we're teaching people how to do SMP doesn't mean they're going to be good, right? They have to practice. Yeah, they got to make mistakes. Why do you think so many people kind of stop? Have you ever thought about like, why do people?
Yeah, it's something I talk about a lot in the classes. Like I was telling you the statistics of being a barber last night, like just barbering in general, which is a very, very big industry globally. 10% make it out of barber school. A very small percentage out of that 10% actually is a barber, more than 4 years. The average barber career is 4 years and they quit. So SMP artist is definitely less than that. But the thing is, it's a new industry, right? Meaning there is a good amount of talented artists out there. There's not a good amount of talented people who know how to run business.
So true.
It's next to none.
So true.
Right? So business, customer service, understanding humans. When you do start becoming an SMP artist and you actually taste $2,000-$3,000 every day, and you start making 20 grand, 30 grand a month, and you've never made that in your life, a lot of these cats start getting big egos.
Yeah.
When they start getting big egos, they really start getting horrible at customer service. And I will capitalize on that all day long.
I don't disagree.
You know, so it's really about learning the service. Becoming a very, very good artist is inevitable. That is our diligence. We have to get good at that if you want to be an SMP artist. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Now, customer service, on top of that, we got to learn how to make content. Nobody can teach you this, and none of these guys know how to do it, you know? And it's not rocket science. Sometimes you got to understand is a lot of these people are coming from, like, they sold car insurance or whatever they did.
Yeah.
Different walks of life. We're going to get asked the same questions every single day, all day long, and you cannot get annoyed. You know why? That's our job. We're SMP artists.
Yeah.
And this is a new industry. Nobody knows what we do. Maybe 10% of the country. And I could be maybe less.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just guessing from my experience. Maybe it's 10%. So every single day, I'm getting asked the same questions over and over and over and over again. I will never get annoyed. I will always answer it with passion. I don't care if they ask me the same question 10 times. I will passionately answer it. I care about their concerns. And that is my job. And if you understand customer service and not sales or not getting cocky because you made 20 grand or measly grand, you can't buy a car with that.
Yeah.
You know, your business will start to thrive, you know? And you have to understand self-belief, believe in yourself, and it's really about helping other people. It's almost like
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's like when somebody contacts me, my goal is, what's their problem? What's their concern? What are they feeling? I genuinely care about that, and I'm going to give them a solution. You know, whether I'm a good fit or not good fit, I'm going to generally point them in the right direction. And people don't understand that, and when they get told no, they quit after a certain amount of times. Or everybody in their friends and family circle says, man, if you learn that, I want it done. And then you go home and they're all like crickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see it every time. And the whole thing is, what you got to understand is it's knocking on doors, right? If you knock on doors, you can never, ever go broke. So we have a great service. I started my career inside the barbershop. If you step foot in my barbershop, guess what I'm doing? Showing you a picture of what I do, SMP. I don't care if you laugh at me. I don't care how many people tell me no. I'm going to get that one yes. That one yes is all I'm looking for.
Yep.
After I get that one yes, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep asking until I get my second yes.
Yep.
And that's it.
And then when you educate that person, they'll tell other people. It's a chain reaction. Spider webs out. And then more people get educated. And a lot of times what I found with SMP is planting seeds. Some people will make the decision right away, but some people just got to think about it. So they learn about it, think on it 3, 6, 9 months, a year. And then they're like, you know what? I'm ready to do this.
Yeah, you got to give them time. They have to, we call it nurturing when you get into marketing and stuff like that. Call it nurturing. Just like a baby.
Yeah, nurture your leads.
They've never seen it before. They don't know what it is. You got to teach them, show them, you know. But this is when you get even past that. Is like when I first started doing SMP, I posted my first picture that I did of my brother-in-law, and I did not have my machine properly wrapped. I didn't have like the cord wrapped, and I got roasted in those Facebook groups. Like, they tore me to shreds. And again, I'm coming from a different world. I'm like, I'm gonna fuck these dudes up. Like, I'm gonna find their addresses. You know, the younger me, you know? And I realized really quick, okay, social media is brutal.
It is.
So I didn't post on social media for like 8 months. I took pictures and videos of everybody. If you walked in my barbershop, if I saw you in the gym, I'm going to show you. Did not touch social media. Once I had so much content collected, and I sat down with myself and I said, man, if any of these trolls criticize me, I can answer back. I can properly answer back no matter what happens. You know, my game is tight, everything's sanitary, and just, you know, I felt confident that I'm not doing nothing that I'm not supposed to, you know? Then that's when I attacked social media and I started posting my content. It's all consistency. And I would post and post and post, and they might follow you for 8 months, they might follow you for a year, but eventually they'll call. You just got to be available for them. And the whole thing of the knocking on doors, like, what if I told one of you that the 11th time you ask somebody, they're going to tell you yes? How fast will you ask the first 10? You're going to do that shit in 1 day. Or you come to class, you learn, you go back home, and then you ask 2, 3 people, they all shut you down, they tell you no, and you're like, oh, fuck. Then you see another guy, and you're like, I'm not even going to ask him. I don't feel like getting told no again. And like 6 months go by, 5 months go by, and you just kind of just disappear. Or you just keep on asking until somebody tells you yes. And it could take 2 days, it could take a week. Just do it.
Some people can't deal with the rejection, right?
They can deal with it.
Yeah.
They just think they can't.
Yeah. I agree.
It's discomforting.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's not personal.
Yeah, who cares? Just keep going. There's another person.
It's not personal.
I did it on my plane ride over here.
Exactly.
I waited till the end of the plane ride, and I told the guy when we got up, because I didn't want it to be like awkward during the plane. So I was like, once we're walking off the tarmac, I gave it to his wife.
Yeah.
I gave it to his wife, and I told his wife, and plant the seed, baby.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
The more we educate people about scalp micropigmentation, the more we all eat.
Absolutely. So if somebody strikes big and does a bunch of celebrities, amazing.
I'm happy. I don't care if I did it. Good.
There's a majority of the artists will be so mad. Oh, I could have did a better job. Man, who gives a damn? He did it, and he's making it famous for all of us.
Yes, we all win. That part does bother me, though. It's like, come on.
It's not understanding humans. It's not understanding that there's 2 billion English-speaking people every single day on social media.
Yeah.
Not understanding there is no amount of people that you can be fully booked, I can be fully booked, he can be fully booked, she can be fully booked, and there's still more than we can handle.
Agreed. And
it's like, all right, somebody did a celebrity, great, that's publicity for all of us. But at the end of the day, if I'm fully booked with 50 clients, 60 clients, all I need is 50 or 60 people out of 2 billion people.
Yeah.
That's on Facebook and Instagram.
I think you can do it.
Yeah, I think I can find 60.
Yeah.
I can do that. It's not a crazy amount.
Push harder. You know,
there's small numbers when you really think about it.
I want to circle back to something. They have these different, very rarely, do you see yourself ever going to, they have like these different SMP shows and Scalp Show and the Scalp Expo. Are you willing to go to one in the future if there's a new one?
Yeah, I would love to. Do
you think they should have one down here in Florida?
Miami would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Because didn't they just have the PMU World?
Yeah, the PMU Worlds. Yeah, I heard that was a great event as well. I heard it was really, really good. Yeah, absolutely.
You ever considered putting one on?
No. I don't want. No.
It's a lot of responsibility, right?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Like one of my best friends, Jay Majors, he does the CT Barber Expo.
Looks stressful.
It is the biggest barber expo in the world.
Yeah.
He does it every single year. And whew.
And you've won some awards there too.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that up real quick, just on a side note. What are the Barber Grammys, and how does a person go there and get elected? How's that work?
So Barber Grammys is just the award show for the barber industry.
Okay.
And you just have to do extraordinary things to be chosen.
Okay. So you you get chosen pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not reaching out, sending.
No, you get chosen. But again, if like you are Joe Barber in whatever, Atlanta, Georgia, and you do the best haircuts anybody's ever seen, you're not going to get elected. I'm sorry, because you chose to be a barber. You're supposed to give the best haircuts.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're fully booked. You're supposed to be fully booked. That's your job. So like you got to do something extra.
Okay.
Like beyond that.
Yeah.
What do you do for the kids? What do you do for the community? What do you do for the industry? Being fully booked doesn't do anything for the industry.
Yeah.
you know? So it's what, you got to go beyond what's extra, you know?
Yeah.
Do something grand.
That
Helps. It's about helping. It's about making marks, you know? So like to be a part of that is just start going to the barber shows. Again, my whole career, I never went to barber shows.
Okay.
When I started going to barber shows, my whole career changed. I was so inspired again. I just saw all these other artists doing great things, talking to the companies, meeting people at Babyless, meeting people at Andy's, and just all these. It really brought back the love that made me become a barber, you know.
Yeah.
And the education. I teach SMP. I don't cut hair no more, right? But I will still go to these events. I will still sit in the chairs and sit in every educational class, whether it's about scissors, hair dye, whatever it is. I sit on their class and I watch other educators teach, because guess what? I'm an educator.
Yeah.
So I'm learning gems.
Yeah.
And I'm just making my...
Everybody has a different communication style. You can kind of learn from them, right?
You learn from everybody. It's one of the best things I've ever done. I strongly suggest everybody should go to these.
Good. What? Has it happened yet for 2025 CT Barber show?
Yeah. Next one will be 26.
Okay.
Yeah, in May.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about it. That's how I learned about it, was through you,
Yeah.
and I've seen the event. It looks
It's
huge.
amazing. Like around 15,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah. And I could be low, but I could be more.
Yeah.
But for sure, it's 15,000.
Do you go every year now?
It's a staple.
You got,
mandatory.
You got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go. And he does I heard that guy Jay Majors does a
An
phenomenal job.
amazing job.
Because that's
Great-
got to be stressful.
Great experience,
Yeah.
man. You got
Good for
people
him.
flying from all over the globe to Connecticut,
Isn't that wild?
to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how important it is.
Yeah.
You know?
So you had back to SMP. So you had started your own needles. What happened to where now you're with FYT? Can you kind of walk us through what happened?
Yeah. So I was, for a short period of time, I was sponsored by Permablend. I was helping them design pigments and stuff like that. And then I was also sponsored by H2 Ocean.
What's H2 Ocean?
Yeah, it's tattoo supplies.
Okay.
Like
I remember that.
scopes and stuff like that. Permablend was a short period of time, kind of just parted ways. And then H2 Ocean, absolutely love those dudes. Great products. But it was like, me being super ambitious. So I'm like, man, I want to do my own products. I wanted to, and again, everything happens organically, right? So I always had this thing in my mind, like I want to do products and just have my own brand. I want to be Paul Mitchell.
Okay.
And again, I'm doing SMP. This young dude comes in, cool dude, got like an $80,000 watch on, no diamonds, just a little clean Patek Philippe. I'm like, that's a big boy watch. I'm looking at him, everything is like super expensive. I'm like, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I make beauty products. I'm like, really? And I'm cutting his hair, getting ready to do SMP on him. I'm like, what kind of beauty products? He's like skincare and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, can you make me products? He's like, I'll make you whatever you want. And we just clicked. And by the time I was done with that SMP session, had a big old box with all the products I use. And I was like, look, I like this about this one, but I don't like this about this. I like this about this, and just kind of explain how I wanted things. Put it in there, and he took the whole box of products home.
Wow.
Started sending me samples, got the products the way I wanted it, and then he started manufacturing for me. And that's how I started selling the products.
Appreciate you sending me free samples.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Found a needle manufacturer, sat down, talked to them, told them what I wanted, tried different things, started doing needles. Needles that the whole thing is I'm making products that I want, that I like, because at the time, the needles that I was buying, I didn't care for. They were one, I'm buying like, bro, I'm spending like 4 or 5 G's a month or every 5-6 weeks on big orders of needles, and these dicks wouldn't even give me 10% off. I'm like, bro, I'm buying more needles than half of the stores you sell to. Yeah. And you want to give me 10% off? Come on. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, they're dicks. I'm going to make my own. Yeah. And that's how I came about. Then Jay Majors calls me up one day, and he's like, yo, you ever hear of FYT? And I'm like, yeah, they're one of the biggest needle manufacturers out. And he's like, they just bought a booth at the event. Mm-hmm. I'm like, give me that guy's phone number. I'm going to call him. He's like, all right, cool. He's like, hit him up. So he gives me the phone number. So I call him. I call Dave.
Shout out to Dave.
Shout out to Dave. That's my brother. So I called Dave. He's like, yo, who's this? I'm like, it's Taylor Perry. He's like, okay, what's up? I'm like, I'm just calling to say hi. He's like, okay. I'm like, I don't know. You're coming to the CT, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool, man. I just want to make friends. And I appreciate you. I'm excited to see you guys out there. I'm glad you're coming to the barber, the barber industry. Like, you're curious, like, dope. We just started talking, just built a friendship. And they were like, yo, obviously Dave's like, dude, why don't you get needles with us instead of making your own? And I was like, I don't know, man, And they were like, dude, we're working on a new project, and they wanted to involve me, and they started showing me different materials and different things. And then I sat down with them and just kind of going over the build of it. And they just gave me a deal that I just really couldn't say no to. And they are hands down the dopest, most nicest, most generous people I've ever met. And they came to the expo, so I met them in person. Dave, Chin, Cash, Clay, gave me so much love. Chin's niece wanted to take my class. At the time, I think I was charging $5K at that time. And I'm like, is this your real niece? Like, your blood niece? He's like, yeah, it's my niece. I'm like, okay, cool. Put her in the class. It's like, how much? I'm like, no, you're good. You're good. So I taught her for free. And he's like, I'm going to take you to China. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. All right, whatever. Yeah. And like a month later, he's like, yo, can you mail me your passport? I'm taking you to China. I'm like, what? And they took me to China.
That was wild. When I saw that video of you on the plane, you're like, I'm about to be on a 12-hour flight to China, on your story. This motherfucker's in China, going to China.
Yeah.
It just was so random. I was like, how was the trip to China, by the way?
One of the best trips I ever been on.
Yeah.
They took so good care of me and everybody they brought. They brought a handful of tattoo artists, and it was the new needles that they're coming out with, the hard lines. Basically, they have a handful of artists that are helping them design it, testing everything out, getting it to be exactly like the best needles possible. Flew the whole group to China, took us to the factory where it's made. I have videos of me actually in the factory, suited up, making needles. Like, we made all these needles from scratch.
You were on the assembly line.
Yeah, we made all these needles from scratch.
That's wild.
It was amazing. Yeah. It was so dope. And then one of the biggest things, this thing actually almost made me tear up, is the factory is in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, why is it like here? And then Daniel's like, this is where I'm from. Like, this is the village that I'm from. And when you have a family and you grow up here, all the men have to leave to go to Bangkok, or not Bangkok, I'm sorry, to go to Shanghai and go to these bigger cities to go get work. They have to leave their families so they can send money back. So they opened up the factory there so the men don't have to leave their families to go work in other parts of the country.
That's incredible. Wow. So he built the factory just so these families could stay together. So
in the village that he's from.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, so they got, if I'm correct, they employ over 300 people in that village, so they don't have to leave their families. It's when he started telling, almost everybody started crying. It was like, this is intense.
That's wild. That's incredible.
And this is something they don't even tell nobody. And I'm like,
they should.
How come you don't tell them? Yeah. He's like, that's my people, man.
Yeah.
I do it for them. And that just really made me love them even more.
That's great. That's really cool to do. I mean, think about how many families that's touched and changed their lives.
Their whole team is amazing.
I love the video of you when you go in, you're in like, I guess you're in, I don't know if I don't want to call it a ghetto, but you're in a low income area.
That's the village where the factory's at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When you go into like a random barbershop.
Yeah. So David needs a haircut. And I'm like, let's go find a barbershop.
Yeah.
I got you. And he's like, all right, cool. So we just started walking around. We found a little barbershop.
And they let you use it. They didn't even care.
No, they were so happy. They're like, come on in. Oh, it was crazy. It was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah. It was such a great, these guys even went viral.
Really?
Yeah. So they're walking down the street and they see a couple old guys carrying these huge rice bags. And they all stop. and just start helping them unload the whole truck with the rice bags, and they're piling it up. And then the whole village started recording them, and they all went viral as heck on the Chinese TikTok.
Wow.
Dude, it was the best experience ever.
Wow.
We flew all over China. They took us to so many cities.
Oh, you didn't just go to one part of China?
If I'm correct, that whole trip, we took about 9 flights.
How many days were you gone?
Over 3 weeks.
Wow.
It was long.
So you're flying like every other day?
Yeah. We went to Shanghai, where the factory's at, Tattoo Expo, back to another part of the town, back to Shanghai.
So you're like a legit FYT spokesman.
Stopped in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love them. I love them.
That's great. Shout out to FYT.
Shout out. Big shout out. And honestly, the quality of the needles they make, it was just a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It was a no. I do not endorse anything I do not personally use.
Mm-hmm.
And they blew it out of the water.
FYT is not a sponsor of the Daddy podcast, but I love FYT as well. I use their needles, and I do highly recommend them.
They're good.
I really like them. Is there any, can anybody, if they're listening to this podcast, can they use a TP code? Maybe
just DM on Instagram FYT SMP and tell them TP sent you.
You hear that, people? You traveled in, you're in China, you're doing all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then you decide, you come back, you're doing your thing, you decide to go to Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I've traveled for work my whole career. Again, something that we didn't even speak about, but super surreal for me. I've been to so many countries, all work related. I've never really actually went on a vacation.
Okay.
Where I don't work. So one of my really close friends, he went to Thailand to go stay there for like 6 months. He's not an American citizen, so he can't stay here for too long, you know? So he comes when he got to leave, he usually goes to Thailand. Then my business partner, Alejandro, said, man, I'm going to go on a fitness trip. Our friend David's a personal trainer. He's like, I'm going to go stay with David. I'm going to get on a clean diet. I'm just going to live in the gym. David's going to train me. I'm just going to get in great shape. Mm-hmm. I'm like, freaking amazing, right? And I'm like, man, I want to go, you know? I want to go, but I got work. I'm busy. Alejandro is my business partner. He manages my schedule. And then he surprised me. He was like, listen, you know I control your schedule, right? He's like, I rescheduled all your clients, and me and David bought you a flight to Thailand. Yeah. So got me a flight to Thailand, and he's there for like 2-3 months. I'm going for 1 month. Strictly fitness. Just fitness, let go of business, give my mind a break, a whole reset, and then just come back fresh, right? They surprised me with the flight to Thailand. And then I'm going there for 1 month and nothing work related. It's going to be a real vacation, a wellness trip. I'm just going to eat clean, go to the gym, train, just get in the best shape of my life, right? And fly to Thailand. And I'm there and I'm just like, man, I can't be here and not do SMP. I got to leave my mark.
Yeah.
I got to leave my mark. So again, I preach all this in my classes. I preach how to book people through social media. I preach how can you go anywhere in the world and get clients. I preach this, and this is what I teach, right? So I'm in Thailand. I know nobody. I just came here on the whim, 0 promotions. I said, I'm going to do what I say I always do. And I did what I teach. And guess what? Within 48 hours, I made $7,500. I booked 3 clients.
So you when you got there, or even before you got there, did you just do a boost or something?
I did a boost.
Nice.
And
it worked?
I did a boost in Bangkok. I did a boost in Phuket and Koh Samui. So one video, and I put those 3 destinations, because you know you get to pick what cities it shows them. So I picked those 3 cities, and I put $200 on it for 7 days. Mm-hmm. Within 48 hours, I had 3 guys sending me, Zelling me, or not Zelle, pay a Stripe invoice. There's no Zelle over there. $1,000 and $1,000 deposit each.
Were these locals or were these foreigners that were there?
They're residents there. They're not Thai people. Okay. 2 guys are from Austria. No, I'm sorry. 1 guy's from Austria. Other guy was Israeli. And then the Austria guy, I sold him the scalp and the beard. So he sent me 2 deposits.
Okay.
You know? And again, this is just me putting the boost. And how do I talk to people in my DMs? How do I get them on the phone? How do I FaceTime them? How do I talk to them and get a complete stranger on the other side of the world to trust me enough to send me $1,000 deposit?
Yeah.
Hoping that I actually show up to do the work. It's what I do. It's my framework. And I would have made 20,000, but then I got hit by a car.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at that, but I saw the video we were talking about last night. You were on a moped?
Yeah, man.
What happened?
So this is 2 weeks in, and like, man, the trip of my life, you know, Muay Thai, gym.
Your kicks are legit, by the way. Side note, I was watching; they're legit.
Damn, I'm rusty.
Yeah.
So I'm on a scooter because everybody rides scooters there, especially to beat the traffic. And I'm going in and out the cars. This is like a Friday night. It's really dark. We're in like the little downtown area, and I'm going about 30 miles an hour, going in and out of the cars. And this guy clips my back tire.
In a car?
A car clips my back tire. I'm going 30 and just whoo. Thank God I've been training most of my life.
Yeah.
I'm just like, damn, I'm in the air right now. Like it's one of those things, like I felt like I was 5 minutes in the air.
Wow.
And then I just start rolling. I just bumped my little face. I got a couple, rubbed the skin off my hands, not one scratch on my body.
Wow.
They hit me so hard, my shoes flew off.
That's wild. That is so wild. It's like a cartoon. So your shoes get knocked off.
Yeah, so I'm in the air. I'm just like, did I really just get hit by a car? It's like slow motion. And in my mind, there's like no doubt I'm not gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know how to fall, bro.
Yeah.
So I just start rolling, and I'm like, I jump right back up. I'm like, where the hell are my shoes at? My shoes flew off. I grabbed my shoes, put my shoes on, grabbed the scooter, put it to the side. And then like this little cut was like just squirting blood. And everyone's like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. And then like about probably a good 60 seconds, maybe less. And I'm just like, oh shit, like I gotta sit down. That's when you feel it. Yeah. Like, damn, that shit hurt.
Yeah.
And I realized when people get hit on like motorcycle accidents and they're like really hurt for like several years, I can totally understand it now. When you hit that ground and that shit just goes through your body, it's like, I could probably barely do a push-up right now.
Really?
It's been a couple months.
And there's no insurance claims or anything like that out there?
No, bro.
I'm just asking.
Real country. Yeah, it's like, you're alive? Cool.
Yeah.
You made it.
You had no hard feelings with the guy? Did he?
No, man. I'm not mad.
And it's wild out there.
I made it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool.
Could have been worse. Could have been way worse.
I'm still.
You weren't wearing a helmet, were you?
No. It was like, all right, cool, man. So, all right, I guess like the wellness thing is over with at the moment. I'm gonna go back to Bangkok and go check out the parties.
So overall, you had fun?
Oh, the best. I'm going back. Listen, if I didn't have my 2 kids, you would be doing this podcast in Bangkok.
Okay.
Seriously.
No, I know. It's hard to leave the kids.
Yeah. I came back strictly because I miss my kids. I wouldn't have came back.
Rightfully so.
Oh, I could make money out there. I could make money in Australia. I can go anywhere on planet Earth and probably make more money over there, believe it or not.
But, will you share? So you're in Miami. People come from all over the world to come to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to share some of the celebrities you've worked on? Are you allowed to say any names?
Yeah.
I know Rashad Evans, right?
Yeah, of course.
How was that? That had to have been so cool to meet.
That's my guy, bro.
Yeah.
He's great. Great dude.
Dangerous man.
Yeah, bro. One of the nicest guys you ever meet.
Yeah.
You know? Did Rashad. I did Rick Ross.
That is so cool.
57 Freddie, Rich Kid, Exclusive Game. A lot of people in the industry versus like A-list celebrities.
Yeah,
you know? I did Tiger's manager. I did Puff Daddy's manager. I did the CEO of GQ magazine.
Wow.
Men's Health. Just a lot of people in the industry.
Very cool.
I know a lot of people in the industry.
You definitely have a big network. One of the strong. If you were one of those MLM guys in multi-level marketing, you'd be killing it.
I'm very intrigued by. I'm very intrigued by that. By the MLM marketing. I do like it a lot.
Is there anything in the SMP industry that kind of bothers you or that you'd like to see improved?
In the beginning of my career, I didn't understand that it's not personal. So like when you asked me at the beginning of this podcast about the haters, man, the haters were very rough in the beginning, mentally on myself, because I want to fight everybody. I'm not a keyboard guy. Like I like to fight. It's what I do for a hobby.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gladly fight you.
Yeah.
But like obviously it's horrible business ethics, and you cannot live like that.
No.
And again, it's not personal. And honestly, as I got so far in my career, in the beginning stages, like all the little haters and trolls, I was right here and they're right here. So they're kind of loud. You can hear them pretty loud, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I climb up the ladder of success, you hear it less and less. And they're probably down there still talking, but it ain't loud. I can't even hear them no more. So it's that part I grew out of, I could say, as you climb up the ladder of success. So in the beginning stages, anybody that is going through that, it's a temporary thing. As you become more successful, you hear it less and less. It won't bother you. And it's not important,
Good for you.
And on top of that, when you are doing great things, they're going to talk about you, no matter the industry, it's inevitable. But again, it's not personal, guys. So don't ever, anybody experiencing that, don't let it bother you. In our industry, there is great artists popping up where I'm seeing these guys pop up just randomly. And I'm like, wow, it's great work, like great work, But again, maybe 1,000 followers. They don't know marketing. They don't know how to take a video. They don't understand how to brand yourself. Who are you? So our industry needs to really understand basic fundamentals of customer service. Understand how to talk to people and understand how to care about what they care about.
Yeah, not just for the money.
No, man. If it's just for the money, you're gonna quit.
You're not. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You got to really understand to have empathy, understand to listen, and just connect with your clients. You're not going to sell them this and they're coming to buy. You got to connect with them. If they like you as a person, they will come to you. If somebody talked to me and they didn't like me and they chose to go to another artist, and that guy was probably the right guy for them. They connected better for whatever reason. So you just got to understand these things. And it's really all about marketing, right? In a way, we got a great product that changes lives. I mean, most artists get it done, they come in as a client, get it done, and they're like, I want to learn this too. And they fall in love with it, and then they become SMP artists.
So it happened to me.
So there's so much passion involved in what we do. Mm-hmm. So we have an amazing industry, an amazing product, but the word got to be spread. People need to be educated on it. And unfortunately, we don't got the yellow pages no more. Mm-hmm. It's all through social media. It's video content. We're not videographers, but we do have to understand how do we use our cell phone. My first year in business, I made $1.4 million with my iPhone, with this. Boom! 1.4 mil with this.
Insane.
I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to use a camera. I just learned how to use a camera like 2 years ago. This is all you need.
It is a tool. It is a tool. People use it. I agree with everything you just said. Can you give us a tip? What's a tip in marketing? You don't have to get too granular, but what's a tip in marketing that you think a lot of people make a mistake doing when they're marketing like if they could just make a few tweaks?
All right. The one thing that everybody successful has in common, whether they got 1 million followers or 5,000 followers, they're all authentic. If you're not authentic, you will not make it. And we have to constantly film ourselves. Mm-hmm. If you're not authentic, you got to put on the disguise. Mm-hmm. So be yourself always. And then it's really, really easy to just press record and go. Mm-hmm. On top of that is everybody has this thing on social media is they want to be an authority figure and they want to be an expert and this and that. And it's such bullshit, right? All you hear is expert, all these guys, gurus on Instagram and social media. Not everybody's an expert. And if you're not, they can see through it, So there's a thing, and this is what I really, really understood about social media was eventually I'm going to be an expert. But in the beginning stages, I'm not. So in the beginning stages is the documentary stages. As I'm learning, I'm documenting me learning. I'm telling people what I learned. I'm documenting the process of me becoming this. I'm documenting me in the process of getting outside of local clients and getting nationwide clients. And eventually that documentary stage is going to turn into the authority stage. And then when you are in the authority stage, they're going to look at your content and be like, okay, this guy's an authority. And when they start scrolling down and they see your whole journey, you're a freaking authority versus just making authority content. You got to document stuff.
And it proves that you earned it.
Yeah.
And also by documenting, because I've been documenting my entire journey. I've been documenting. And it also, you have to visualize your story. By documenting it, you know long-term, if you believe in yourself and you want to be successful, guess what? Now I can show my story.
Yeah. And even like I wanted to, in the beginning stages, like archive my Instagram, right? And my assistant at the time, she studied marketing. She studied social media management. And her husband did my videography. And they were like, no, do not change anything. Just keep posting, keep it all. And you know how many people walked in my door and like, man, I looked through your whole Instagram from the very, very bottom. And I saw your whole process, bro. It's amazing what you did, how much work you put in. And I can't tell you how many people told me that. Mm-hmm. So like, just start filming and just be totally authentic. Your target is not, say if you're just learning SMP, I'm not your target. Joey Dots is not your target. Your target is people who know less than you. So make your content for people who know less than you. So every time you learn something, make more content. It's for the buy. And as you get bigger and bigger and the more experience, the audience grows and grows and grows, you know? But be consistent. You get asked the same question all day long, that's your job. Yeah. If you don't like it, then quit. But anything is possible. I tell this a lot in my classes, and I don't say this to brag, but I just want to really let people understand is I cut hair for $10 for 9 years. When I got the first year I opened up my SMP studio, and this is a ghetto studio. I'm going to show you pictures. I made $1.4 million with 10,000 followers on Instagram and an iPhone. I've been doing SMP for a little bit over 8 years. 6 out of those 8 years, I cleared $1 million every single year doing procedures and then eventually teaching the classes.
Congrats. Wow.
And this is with this, bro, and in my DMs. Mm-hmm. And I learned marketing along the way. Now, yes, I have a CRM, I have framework, I have salespeople now, but I didn't. Yeah. I did everything through the CRM with a pen and paper and talking to people and FaceTiming people and just connecting with humans like I did in the barbershop. Except in the barbershop, I go outside when we're slow and maybe hand out flyers. I could maybe get 10 people. Yeah. Now I can do hundreds of thousands every day. And even to this day, I show you in my DMs, to this day,
I believe it.
We go in my DMs and you can scroll through my DMs and all you're going to see is, hey, thanks for the follow last night. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Any questions about SMP? Yo, I'm here to help. Ask me. And I'll throw them a voice memo so they know this ain't no Manny chat reply. This is me. I do that every night. Every night I go on, I click to see who followed me today, and I message every single one of them. And I start conversations. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't close half of the people I close.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And if you see somebody doing something great and they intrigue you, go train with them. Even if you feel like you're a better artist than them, but maybe they do something that you like, go train with them. You can never, ever lose by training with multiple people.
Agreed. You learn something from everybody.
You got to
train with like 5 or 6 people. I've learned something from everybody.
Everybody, you get a gem from everyone. Just add it to your toolbox, you know? But like, with that being said, is If you're like thinking, man, I want to learn SMP, or I just learned SMP and I'm going to be busy in my town, in my city, you're thinking way too small. You can be busy globally. You can be as big as you want to be. You just put the effort into it. It's what you want. It could be a side hustle. It could be a full-time gig. It could change your life. It could change your family's life. It's whatever you can envision. It's so possible. It's so doable. This is a blue ocean.
Thanks for saying that. Thank you for doing this. I just want to say, anybody listening to this, if you made it this far in the podcast, no matter how you feel about Taylor Perry, love him or hate him, he is only helping the industry. He's literally only helping the industry grow and let more people know that SMP is a service that can be done, because there are so many people struggling with hair loss. So I don't see why, you could not like the guy, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Especially if you've never met him and you don't know him, or maybe you're just like, oh, he's a little flashier, he's in Miami. Who gives a fuck? He's owning it. This is where he grew up. Let him do his thing. He's only going to help us all make more money. And so you really have to think about that. Thanks for doing this, man.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Daddy.